everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy and I'm a full-time reseller. Today is my What Sold Wednesday video. So this is sales from November 11th through the 17th on 4 different platforms: Mercari, Depop, Poshmark, and eBay. So this week was kind of like in that slump. I really want to get over the $1,000 a week. That is like my goal, but I just can't seem to get there. It's like every once in a while I get it close, but not quite. Poshmark was slower this week. It always seems to be slow for me. Mercari was okay considering that one week I had 0 sales. eBay was kind of slow, and then Depop was also kind of slow for me this week. So I don't really know what to expect going forward. Like I said, we're in a weird time right now with Q4. I don't sell a ton of new tag things. Some things are. Most people, I think, are looking for, Christmas presents at this point as opposed to pre-owned clothing. Maybe that's just something I'm telling myself. I don't know. So I did send out some offers on Saturday, I think, on Poshmark, just because things were pretty slow until the weekend. And I did send out, it was either 30 or 40% off, some older listings. I noticed on my app on my phone that you can now sort by oldest. I try to delist, relist, everything within 30 to 60 days. Some things get kind of lost, I think, in there. So there were some older items in there, and those were kind of what I was focusing on to send those offers out. I don't believe any of it sold. So that's okay. So I will scoot over here and we will start looking at my actual listings. Starting with Poshmark, this polo by Ralph Lauren, what is it? A robe, flannel robe. I have had this forever. I picked this up at the bins probably a year and a half ago. I thought at some point I heard that these did pretty well. Maybe it's the size, it's a small medium. This sat forever. Someone offered me 15 and I was happy to see that go. Next up is Ollie and Holly. Hallie? I'm not exactly sure. I've never heard of this brand and I've never heard of it before, but this just had everything that people are looking for right now. It's oversized, kind of like a mismatched pattern, perfect fall colors, a distressed look to it. This I picked up at the bins and it was an extra large and it went for $23. Next up is JCrew. I just got this at Goodwill on $1.99 day. It was kind of like a neon safari print with all these different animals. I did have it listed for $40 just because some comps were showing pretty high. Someone offered me $30. I thought that was fair. Next up is Allen Flusser. I got a whole bunch of these at the bins. I think it was like right before October. And quite a few of them have sold for like $20 to $25. So I don't know if this is a brand to be on the lookout for or if it's just kind of the style people are looking for. They seem to be more of like a brighter paisley print or kind of a quirkier print. And these were, what size were they? They were all extra large, and this did go for $25. Next up is Everlane. This brand, I really don't pick up a lot from them anymore. It just seems to sit, and I can't seem to find the pieces that move quickly. Most of the time, I end up getting it and just sending it to Play-Dohs. These were a pair of corduroy baby cord crop pants in a size 31. I couldn't even tell you where I got these because I've had them for so long. They did end up going for an offer of $29. Next up is Logo. This is another brand I really don't pick up anymore. Probably like 2 to 3 years ago, this brand moved pretty quickly. This was a 3X and it did go for $21. Next up is a pair of Ugg boots. I do pretty well with Uggs. I don't really get those traditional brown looking ones just because I think they're kind of oversaturated. If you can find the newer ones that are short, like the little slip-ons, those you could probably make some good money with. But these type of boots I've done good with. They're the Sherpa lined. You can fold them over. They're like a patent leather almost. These were a size 7 and they did go for $40. Next up is Dominique. I've done pretty good with this brand. I think a lot of it comes from, we have like a bridal store in town because I find it new with tags a lot, either at the bins or at Goodwill. They had it listed as a long line bra. It did have straps and stuff you could put on it. But to me, it was almost more of like a corset shapewear. It was new with tags. I got it at Goodwill. It sold 2 days after listing for full asking price of $42. Next up is Crazy Yoga. This came from the Amazon return bin place. They had buy one, get one free on all clothes, so they ended up being $1.50 a piece. This one did go for $15. Been doing really well with these like grungier looking tops with like skulls, hearts, wings, all of that kind of stuff. I've been using cyber goth as a keyword. I think that's been helping. I've sold 2 this week already with the same kind of look to them. This one was Sinful by Affliction, only a size, what was it, a large? I thought it was a small. Size large, a zip front, and this did go for an offer of $40. Next up is Eddie Bauer. I've had these for quite a while. They came in that men's Helpsy source like a year ago. Someone offered me $22. I'm ready to just kind of get rid of those, so that was fine with me. Now on to Mercari. This was a vintage 2001 Harry Potter hat. This was picked up at the bins. I pick up quite a few hats at the bins just because they don't weigh much, and this did go for $18.75. Next up is vintage Chaps from Ralph Lauren. I picked this based up on the colors of the plaid. It looked very sailor, very yacht to me. It was a size men's large, and I probably had this for like 6 months, and it did go for $30. Next up, this was pretty surprising. I did just go home to my parents, like, I think it was last week. My mom is someone that used to be a pretty big couponer, not so much anymore, but she does have a lot of it from when she was couponing and people come to their house and shop in the basement. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to scan some of this stuff. I know a lot of discontinued items can go for quite a bit, like hair items or makeup items. So I was scanning stuff. This one was kind of weird because I scanned it on eBay. That's normally where I look for comps for these type of items. And some were going as high as like $95. So I brought this one home. Before I listed it, I thought I better just check comps on other platforms to see if like maybe something weird was happening on eBay. And that's why they were going for so much. So I could have sworn when I looked on Poshmark that there were some, like a whole bunch listed for only $20 in the same type of packaging and size. So I thought, oh, I don't know, like maybe I shouldn't list it for as high as I did. So I did $55.99, which was kind of like in between. This one ended up selling for full price in 3 days. So when it did, I thought I should go back to Poshmark and buy all of those that are $20 and then resell them, you know, for more. So when I went back and looked, like those weren't there anymore, and now they're all listed for like $90 to $100. So I don't know if there was like some weird thing that happened that day, or people realized on Poshmark, hey, I need to list these for more. I don't know. Regardless, $55 is still a great return. Next up is a vintage Wrangler shirt. I actually wore this for a Halloween costume when I was Waylon Jennings. And this I think I got at Goodwill for probably $4.99. It did go for my full asking price of $35. Next up is Mac Welden. I picked this up at the bins. I feel like this brand was better a couple years ago maybe. I had remembered hearing the brand, so I put it in my bag and thought, you know, I'll just look at it later. This one ended up only going for $22.50. Next up is a vintage 1958 Peanuts folder. There was a little bit of wear to it. I got this at a local thrift store in a bag of, it had a bunch of vintage like notebooks, smaller notebooks, and this folder, and I think it was only like $5 or something. The Smurf notebook that was in here sold quite a while ago. This one did go for my full asking price of $20 plus shipping. Next up is an Express men's reversible belt. This was new with tags. I got this at Goodwill. It's $1.99 for accessories unless they put it in the boutique section. Belts you can do fairly well, especially if you are a bin shopper. Just take a look at some of them. They're easy to store, easy to list, easy to ship. This one did go for $15. Next up is another set of vintage pencils. I sold those colored pencils maybe 2 weeks ago. I can't remember exactly. This was another thing that Goodwill had packaged up in a bag. I think it was like $3.99. A whole bunch of the vintage pencils. I picked those all up. These were 2 sets from 2001, and they did go for $15. Next up is Sundance. This I got at the place where I have rented that booth. That has become somewhere where I am sourcing just because a lot of times the booths get put on sale. People just want to get rid of their clothing. From what I'm seeing there, it doesn't really seem to be a big like reseller type thing, and I don't think resellers are going to look at the items because I found some really good deals. This was, I think, $7 maybe there, and it ended up going for an offer of $30. Next up is another discontinued shampoo, I believe, that I got from my mom's house. This was Nexus, and it did go for my full asking price of $22.99, sold in about a week. These were a pair of Champion shorts, size extra, extra large. This came from that store where everything was $1. These I probably have priced too high. I had seen some comps in like the 25 to 30 range, so I had these listed at 28. Someone offered me 18, which is fine because I am just trying to move these out. I know this isn't the perfect time for shorts. They probably will do better in the spring. This is the exact same shampoo. I had 2 of them. This one sold actually to the same buyer. They did message me asking if I had any more. I said, unfortunately, this was the last one. This one they did send me an offer though for $20. Next up is Maurice's, another one of those cyber goth grunge type shirts. This was like a burnout type tee, laced in the front, plus size 2X, came from the bin. Someone offered me 14. This was another bins pickup in REI co-op, like pullover hooded long sleeve. Wasn't quite heavy enough, I would say, to be a sweatshirt. This one did go for a full asking price of $30. Another item from my mom's stuff. This is Garnier, like a texture tease dry spray. This one ended up going for $16. This was a Free People top that I picked up at Goodwill. I think I paid like $6 for it. I don't normally like to pay up for Free People just because sometimes it sits for me. This one did go for an offer of $28. And now onto Depop. This is another Batman shirt that I have been going through my older listings and seeing if there's anything I can put onto Depop that I hadn't already. I put this one on Depop and it sold within a couple days. Same thing with that other Batman shirt. So I don't know if there's like a big following of Batman on Depop or what, but this one did end up going for an offer of $20. Next up, this one didn't even have a brand. The tag was cut out. I got it at the bins. I got it mainly on the sun graphics that were on this, and it was Halloween colors, kind of like a looser fit dress tunic type top. This one was weird because she had sent me an offer for, I think, $17. I accepted. Then she said that it charged her $22 for the full amount. So I don't know if she maybe went back in and purchased it, or I don't know what happened there. But I was able to refund her. I didn't know this on Depop. You can do partial refunds. So I was still able to send it out. I didn't have to cancel it and rerun it or anything. It did let me just do a partial refund for the $5. So this one did go for $17. And then the last item, there's something weird going with this one too. It was a pair of airy pull-on like ribbed flare pants. It's not letting me see the listing anymore. It's saying the page doesn't exist. So I don't know why that is. It doesn't show it up as a sold when I go onto my main page on Depop. So I don't know if like the listing was removed. I don't know why it would be. I was already paid. I didn't use stock photos or anything, but anyways, she ended up offering me $16.50. That was a bins pickup, so I thought that was fine. So the totals for this week on Poshmark, $302 for 11 items sold. On Mercari, $139 for 4 items sold. On eBay, $339.81 for 12 items sold. And then on Depop, $96 for 3 items sold. So my gross sales for the week were $877.56, and then after average cost of goods are taken out and the platform fees, that leaves me with $594.89 for 30 items sold. So going into next week, I have still been doing my 15 listings a day, Monday through Friday. That seems to be working out. And then on the weekends, I will just delist, relist. I'm hoping that now that I'm, essentially listing more items, hopefully there should be more sales. I have been hearing from people it has been slow. I don't know what to expect here either. I just saw the increased amount for the Postal Service for shipping fees coming 2025. It's making me a little bit nervous. Like at some point, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like you can't expect someone to buy a t-shirt that's only 6 ounces and they have to pay like $9 for it to get shipped. So I don't know what's gonna happen there. I have been seeing people saying that they are using more FedEx and UPS as opposed to USPS, but that's technically, I would say, more for more like heavier items, because as of right now, Ground Advantage is cheaper, for a pound under, as opposed to going through those other places. So I don't know, that makes me a little nervous. I don't know what the post office can do. So I guess time will tell. I think this is also going to start weeding out what I'm buying for items that just are not that substantial, because I have to keep in mind, I need to find someone that A, is going to want to buy the item, and B, someone that's going to want to pay shipping for that item. So I'm thinking I might have to kind of change my mindset, and anything that someone's not going to pay like $20 to $25 for plus shipping, that just goes to ThredUp or Plato's if I'm going to purchase it. But on the flip side with that is I don't always find items that fit that criteria. So then what do I do to make sure that I'm still listing enough? So if that's the case, I might have to consider maybe lotting items up. But then again, you kind of run the risk of people that maybe don't want those items in a lot. So I don't know. I'm just going to have to start thinking a little bit here on what I want to do for those increased prices for shipping. Let me know what you guys think about that. Are you kind of starting to change your business model a little bit since the shipping prices are going up? As far as videos go, the next one will probably be an unboxing. I did just get, I think it's JTC Auctions. I had reached out to him because I had gotten an email for a 20% off coupon, and they said that they had their fall winter items out, but they didn't have any of the boxes photographed. So if you're new to that website, they do offer true mystery boxes and then ones where you can see exactly what's in there and they show you photos. So on the banner, it said that the pictures were going to be coming soon, but I wanted to know if the true mystery boxes were fall items or if they were like spring, summer. So I sent him an email asking him that, and he said that they should be fall and winter, and that they just didn't have time to get the photos up for the ones that if you wanted to buy like the manifested ones. So I thought, well, I'll give it a try because, you know, normally fall and winter items will be more expensive. So we'll see. I did open it just so I could see, you know, to make sure that there weren't like a bunch of shorts or something on the top, because I would have reached out to him. So I'm going to open that here in just a little bit. So hopefully there's some good items in there. So if you are not yet subscribed and you like content like this, what sold videos, unboxings, thrift with me, all of that good stuff, please make sure to hit the button below. And as always, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a like. It really helps out the channel and I really appreciate it. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.